this absolutely massive defense bill that the House voted in favor of. Let's talk a little bit about what that $858 billion price tag includes. First of all, if anybody tells you that's what our defense budget is, no, sorry, it's actually quite a bit more than that. That doesn't include spending on the US nuclear arsenal, contributions to Ukraine's defense, or veterans benefits. Those are all massive expenses. By the way, Massachusetts Peace Action noted that the Pentagon recently failed its 5th consecutive annual audit. But whatever, we should give them close to $1 trillion anyway. I mean, they're gonna bungle it and they're gonna lose money and there's gonna be corruption over and over and over again. We know that, but whatevs, I guess. By the way, they point out that 2.9 million children in the US were lifted out of poverty back in 2021 by the child tax credit, but that program expired after just a year. And now our elected officials have decided to spend an equivalent amount on increasing the war budget, something that actually protected vulnerable children. Screw you kids, give us that money back. Now we're gonna throw it into additional jets or something.
And we'll send you to war when you're 18.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, we want you to be desperate, honestly, because we need you to be compliant soldiers who are ready to sign up. The bill also includes rescinding of the COVID vaccine mandate, because why not? Again, just as a little reminder that this is not about safeguarding people, to be clear. Here are some things that could have been in it that they successfully blocked. So negotiators on the House Armed Services Committee agreed to drop a provision from Representative James McGovern that would have banned arms sales and transfers to any government that has committed genocide or violations of international humanitarian law. Another drop provision from Representative Jerry Connolly would have limited future offensive arms sales to Saudi Arabia until the country stops targeting dissidents at home and abroad. It also dropped a House provision that would have codified into US law funding and support for irregular forces under the NDAA section 1202, while banning that assistance if those groups have committed gross human rights violations. We're gonna get into some of the extra stuff they piled on, but all of these attempts to not have the money go to the worst people on our planet, no, there's no stopping that. Because sure, it results in tons of people being needlessly killed, innocents being gunned down, bombed, killed in terror attacks, all that. But it makes people money, so no, we're just gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, the weapon contractors need to eat, people. I mean, yeah, families need to eat actually, but no, the weapons contractors need a third vacation home, and that is what this is about. That number being the same as the child tax credit for a year, like my heart is breaking in a million pieces. When is it? And this is the thing about Biden that I have to say is the biggest thing that stood out for me with Bernie Sanders, right? I think that when Obama was in office, he started to steer the country, and you guys can disagree with me, but began to steer the country away from like, hey, we need endless war, hegemony, da 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 da. Yes, there were drone strikes, absolutely, but there were boots on the ground wars was seen as like that. We're done with that, right? And there was a little bit of a like, hey, we're in a, there's multiple countries. It's a multipolar world. There's other countries out there, and the right was like, oh my God, there are other countries. How dare you? Iran's not a country. China's not a country. Cuba's not a country. And Obama administration started to turn, and Biden was part of that. But it takes an actual vision for a different foreign policy to rip and wrest some of this money away from the military. You can't do it with the status quo. You can't do it with the same old crap. You have to lay down the line and say, absolutely not, we're gonna spend $800 billion while people are dying sick in the streets and do not have a place to live. I'm sorry, that's just not what we're going to do. And the only person who's laid that out is Bernie Sanders, is some of these progressives that I hope will get, will run for office in the future, and stop letting the right and our political war machinery keep on pulling them back to this kind of a budget. Anyway, so all to say that like what I'm saying is Obama tried a little bit and got hounded for it. Biden is definitely tacked right when it comes to comparing him to Obama, tacked right when it comes to foreign policy, tougher on China, supposedly tougher, more belligerent towards China, let's put it that way. And here we are back to the same stuff.
Yeah, not endlessly raising the budget, requiring additional amphibious ships that the White House doesn't want. a third Arleigh Burke-class destroyer that costs $2.2 billion that the White House doesn't want. A ton of money for the sea-launched cruise missile development program that the Biden administration tried to stop. It prevents the administration from retiring this massive 83 megaton gravity bomb program that they were trying to stop. These are instances in which the White House, Biden, was actually trying to stop these programs in part to save money. And the thing is, while Biden obviously still wants to deliver for wealthy people, he's got donors. There's they have bought out Congress, and that is why these sorts of things get killed. Needless weapons that nobody wants except for the manufacturers who want to continue to make them and sell them.